All right, guys, take two. I didn't realize it, but my SIM card in this camera was just about full, and I got going on this thing, and then my phone beeped, and because I got my phone linked to the GoPro here, so you can see. Yeah, that's how I can tell what's going on. But anyway, remember in the first video, I painted this thing. This is base coat. Normally base coat's not this shiny. That particular, I don't know if you know who that brand is. I had it left over, and I had some reducer for it, so that's what I used. But it's designed to have clear coat sprayed over top of it. And the clear coat is gonna adhere right to it through a chemical bond, and you guys will learn about that later. So what I'm gonna do now is, if you remember from the picture that was on the thumbnail of the last video of that Bronco, this is gonna stay white here, this top is, and then it's gonna be white down in here. And I'll go back to the picture to get exactly where I'm gonna make it white. But I know this is white. So what I'm gonna do is, this is called fine line tape. It's made out of vinyl. Some of you have watched my other videos when I painted that Comet, when I used that fine line stripes. This is 1/8 inch, this is 1/4 inch, and this 12 millimeter. I'm gonna use this. The reason why we use this fine line is it bends corners, it goes around corners. Now some of you have seen me do some stuff before, and I'll give you a little example of what I mean. What it allows me to do is, whoops, I can go around and this is what you would use if you were going to do like a flame job on a car or something like that. Granted, I'm just doing this as a real quick example for you. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. That's how you would do it. It goes around corners. Plus, when I say it goes around corners, see, you can't do that with regular crepe tape. Regular masking tape is technically called crepe tape, C-R-A-P. All right. Plus, when I put this on, when you peel it up, it leaves a perfectly crisp line. If you go back and watch the Comet video, if I can figure out how to put a link in here, I will, to that a little spot on that Comet video. When I pull it up, it's gonna leave a perfectly crisp straight line. So this is gonna stay white, so I'm gonna put the tape on this side of it, and we're gonna cover all this up, but I gotta get a nice straight line going around the top of this. Some of you guys don't know what these older Broncos are like, but this top was actually removable on them, and it was kind of like a Jeep, but for guys. But anyway, this thing would come right off, and they were always painted a different color. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm not worried about that end being over down there, and I'm gonna run right against the seam. And I don't know if you can tell, I've got this masking tape, I've got it twisted like this. That's helping me, it's helping me put the edge against the side here. Okay. Let's see if I can. And going around this corner is a little tricky because there's a groove in there. All right. That's going to be good. Now, I don't know if you can, I don't know if it's clear enough. There's little wrinkles right there, but that's not important. What's important is it is making good contact on the outside edge. And it is. Now we're going to go around to this side. And it's gonna go, this is gonna stay white from right in the middle of this body line. These are called body lines, guys. Some of you know, some of you don't. And if you're watching this video and because you just stumbled upon it, I'm a high school auto body teacher and we're in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm just trying to give an example of something fun that my students can do that they can do at home. They can't work on cars at home, but they can work on a model or something. So that's why we're doing this. So this is a body line, guys, and the two-tone is going to go right in the middle of that. There is chrome molding that's going to cover up the line there. They're going to go line right down here, and then there's going to be the other line's going to run around here. And I'm just going to put a straight line right around there. All right, here we go. Now it does some kind of trick back here, but we'll deal with that in a minute. And we're going to do the straight line down here first. Now, I'm going to go right in the middle of those holes, those little holes that are in the middle of that body line. And hang on, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'll make a little video on putting a stripe on the car here. Something a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, we'll right down the middle of her. There we go. Now I'm going to assume that those holes are, yeah, look at that. That's straight, guys. Now, I said we're going to do something trick back here. This back rolls around because we're doing this exactly, well, as close to exactly like they were in 79 as we can. And this is going to wrap around. You'll see. I'm going to rip that off there. Put that there. All right. Now. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Like, you don't have to, I don't know if you can see those little wrinkles, but they're not gonna hurt anything. What has to be smooth is this outside edge. You'll see why when we further we get along here. Now, I'm gonna come back and trim this off with a razor blade. I'm not worried about it right now. Okay. I know that looks a little funky, but once I cut that, it'll be fine. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it right now because it's driving me nuts. I'm kind of OCD like that. It makes me good at this stuff, and it's also kind of a problem too because you kind of can't leave well enough alone. There we go. There. Get that stuck down good. Okay. Now, we're getting there. Look at that. Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to come back and trim this up with a razor blade. Now, here's where it's going to get a little tricky as well. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to cut that with a razor blade. That's going to be the way I do it. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm probably not going to take the other side up on film because it is going to get long even if I just do it make it a tape video. But I want you to see everything I've done. Basically, I'm just going to duplicate everything on the other side. I tell you, I got to I might have to get some stronger glasses, guys. Again, if you notice my right hand, I've got this tape twisted that makes that leading edge stick. Okay. I hang this off the edge a little bit so I can. So you see why I hung it on the edge, guys? So I could run this around. Okay, now I'm going to stand her up a little bit. Follow that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how zoomed in this is. Like I said, I got it strapped on my head there. Okay, and like again, I'm going to come back with a razor blade and trim this up. Yeah, it's going to look good. This kind of stuff's fun to do every once in a while. I've always liked doing them. I do custom paint jobs. Well, I used to do quite a few custom paint jobs, but now I only do enough to keep it fun, because once it's not fun for me anymore, it just becomes a job, and then I lose some of my creative touch, or it's just not as fun. Now, I've always, you know, I was a body man for 30 years, guys, and they say that, you know, if you do something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, I don't know about all that, but I will tell you this much. There was never anything that I could have seen myself doing that would have made me any happier. I mean, it was hard work. All right, it is still hard work, because I still do them as a body work. But there was nothing I could see myself doing that would have brought me as much satisfaction and make as much money as I did. It is very lucrative. If you're good at this stuff, and I'm not talking about painting little models, I'm talking about fixing wrecked cars. If you're good at it, you can make really good money, and you don't have to go to college to do this. But I would suggest you that you go to get like a business degree. I wouldn't go like, I mean, you can do it at night. I'm going to college myself right now at night, and you could do it at night and get like a business degree. That way, if you ever decided to start your own business or anything, you would have a little bit better handle. That is if you wanted to own your own business, but that's totally fine. There's plenty of work out there for good body man. And I keep saying good because we don't need any hacks. There's enough of them out there. Like I said, and you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn how to do so much stuff in here, more than just fix wrecked cars. Now, I'm having to go around this, right around there. There we go. Now, I'm gonna stop this camera for a minute and go get a razor blade and do some trimming. But, the top of this thing is fiberglass, and they weren't as shiny as the rest of them. They were textured. So I may, because we're trying to make this thing look exactly like it's supposed to. Okay, that looks good there. That's good right there. We're gonna leave it like that. Now, you see what I've done now? It was down here. Now it's up there. Now, here we go. Let me cut this. This is where you gotta have a steady hand. All right. Now, I'm gonna use the edge of the razor blade that's not sharp and tuck that right into the corner. Now I'm going to cut right along, man. Again, like I said, not everybody can do this. I'm not tooting my own horn or nothing. I'm just saying it's not everybody's strong suit. Some people are great at fixing dents and welding and all that kind of fabrication stuff, but they can't do the tedious detail work, and that's totally fine. That's why we got paint shops and body shops, or the paint side of the body shop and the body work side. Now, what I'm gonna try and turn this and go on up here like that. Yes, that's how we're gonna do that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to follow that bend I just put on there. And whoops, that's not it. Here we go. Okay. Now. All right. All right. There's that one. I'm going to use the dull end again. And I'm going to cut. The reason I always use a fresh razor blade is because you don't have to bear down at all. They don't stay super sharp long. And I've got there's a ton of them laying around here that will still cut you. But when I do this kind of detail stuff, you want a brand new one every time. Now let me get that off of there. As you can see, it's a detail's the key here. There we go. It's starting up. All right, guys, like I said, you guys watch me tape up this side, and or whichever side you watch me tape up, I taped up the other side. Now what we've got to do